Do you know what happened to the people of Hazrat Lut? Their story is one of the most terrifying examples of divine punishment in history. They were given time to change, to repent, and to turn away from their evil ways, but they refused. What happened to them? How did they meet their fate? Today, I will tell you the story of Hazrat Lut and the destruction of his people, a story of sin, warnings, and ultimate punishment. Let's go back thousands of years to the land of Sodom and Gomorrah, where the people had strayed far from the path of righteousness. The people of Sodom were among the most corrupt on earth. They indulged in wickedness that no nation before them had ever committed. Their crimes were many: highway robbery, public indecency, and above all, an unnatural sin that angered Allah. Hazrat Lut, a noble prophet sent by Allah, lived among them. He constantly reminded them of righteousness, urging them to abandon their wicked ways. "Fear Allah and follow the right path," he pleaded. "Surely you are committing a sin that no people before you have ever done." But the people mocked him. They laughed and ignored his warnings, considering him an outsider who interfered in their way of life. One day, Allah sent 3 angels in the form of handsome young men to visit Hazrat Lut. They first stopped at the house of Hazrat Ibrahim, who welcomed them warmly and served them food, but the angels did not eat. Hazrat Ibrahim became anxious. "Who are you?" he asked. "We are messengers of Allah," they replied. "We have been sent to destroy the sinful people of Hazrat Lut." Hearing this, Hazrat Ibrahim pleaded, "But Lut is among them." "Fear not," the angels assured him. "We will save him and his righteous followers before the punishment arrives." The angels then continued their journey to Sodom, where they met Hazrat Lut. When Hazrat Lut saw the strangers, he was distressed, because he knew the wicked nature of his people and feared they would harm the guests. He welcomed the guests into his home, hoping to keep them hidden. But word quickly spread across the city. Lot had guests, handsome young men. The sinful men of the town rushed to his house, demanding that Lut hand over his guests. "These are my guests," Hazrat Lut said firmly. "Do not disgrace me. Fear Allah." But they only laughed. "You know we have no interest in women," they sneered. "You have always opposed us." Hazrat Lut was helpless. "If only I had the power to stop you," he cried. Seeing Lut's distress, the angels reassured him. "Do not be afraid, Lut. We are messengers from Allah. These people will not harm you." Then they struck the sinful men with blindness. Panic spread. The men screamed and stumbled in darkness, unable to find Lut's house. The angels then turned to Hazrat Lut and said, "Lut, take your family and leave this city before dawn. Do not look back except for your wife, for she is among the sinners." Hazrat Lut obeyed. Under the cover of night, he and his followers fled the city. As soon as Hazrat Lut and his followers were safe, the sky darkened. A mighty storm began to brew. The ground trembled. Then suddenly, a terrifying blast shook the earth. A fiery rain of stones descended upon Sodom and Gomorrah, destroying everything. The cities were flipped upside down. The ground beneath them collapsed, swallowing the wicked people. Nothing remained of Sodom except ruins and a lifeless, cursed land. Hazrat Lut and his followers had been warned not to look back. But as the punishment unfolded, his wife disobeyed. She turned around and immediately met her fate. She was struck down and turned into stone. The once prosperous cities of Sodom and Gomorrah became a barren wasteland. To this day, the area remains lifeless, covered by the Dead Sea, a reminder of Allah's wrath upon the wicked. Hazrat Lut and his followers continued their journey, grateful to Allah for saving them. This story teaches us that the people who disobeyed Allah faced destruction, while those who followed his guidance found safety and peace. Hazrat Lut and his followers learned that faith and righteousness lead to salvation. It also reminds us that obedience to Allah brings mercy, while disobedience leads to ruin. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel to watch more such videos.